morgon. Det är onsdag. Hello, it's Wednesday. And today we do this in English.
In English and at night.
And at night,
it's
yes.
like bedtime for me.
Yeah. I would poke you if
I fall asleep.
Yeah. So we will talk to Chris Koehn in Mexico, and this will be super exciting to see if we can even connect to Mexico. I don't know.
But it's an interesting guy.
Yeah. So I hope for everyone that we can connect.
Yeah.
I hope you're well. You might have brought some coffee, had some dinner. Yes, we have some. This is actually also a thing to keep focused on who's joining. Hi, we're waving like this. We can introduce ourselves at least. So you're welcome to the Pure Effect Insta Live. This is not Maria today. Normally it's Maria, but this is Jocke today.
No, I'm going as Maria today.
Yeah, and I'm Linda. Maria is normally my partner in crime during the lives, but not tonight. And that's good because then the chair was open for you. But as Maria do, we work with Pure Effect. We normally have these Pure Insta Lives as a way of connecting with our network to tell you more about what Pure Effect is doing and what our network is doing and how we can... It has been a lot about the slow fashion movement, like how we can keep...
Because we are slow fashion. Do you think that these people are people that follow us or that they follow Chris? Is this Chris crowd?
It's both. I would say it's only a couple of them right now. I think it's both. It looks like it's... Oh, we have Chris there. Hi, Chris. So you know how to join? Let's see. Yeah, now I will let you in.
Way.
Yeah?
Mexico City.
I'm confirming. I think it's going to work. Patience. Yes!
Yes.
Yes! This is magic. Hi, Chris.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, we're good. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah?
Really happy to be here.
Yes, super fun. You know, one of our Insta Lives we had with a Swedish girl, but she was on a train back home from Germany, and that was not the best conditions to have a live. You know, it was a lot of disruptions, but this works a lot better, and a lot better than the Mexican-Swedish post system, because you had some trouble getting orders from Pure Effect, right?
Yeah, the Mexican post system is it's very randomly. Normally depends on the humor on the guy who gets the package, if it gets delivered or not.
So you think it's on the Mexican side we have trouble? I think we have some
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Because I've ordered like different kind of items, and it depends always on the mood on the custom guy. If something like goes freely without any fee or whatever, or sometimes it's really randomly, like the regulations aren't that clear.
But what do you mean? Just between you and me, and we skip the rest. Might it be that you have to pay extra just to get the stuff that you ordered, or
No. It really depends on when the guys at customs like get the package from another country. There's some regulations, but sometimes like, okay, the package goes freely to and shipped to whatever address in Mexico, or no, this has something, the same package, and it depends on the guy. It can say, no, it has something and it has to pay fees, and you have to get a clearance from the shipper, and it's really randomly how it works.
We'll try and send them a flower from here and a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
And see if it helps next time.
Great.
But we're stubborn, you know. We keep sending them until you get the packages. So, but
exactly.
Just as an introduction, Chris, I'm really happy that you're joining us today. I tried to recall what time we talked the first time, but you were actually one of our first customers using the mists to remove odor on running gear at that point. I think you were the first customer outside Europe.
Oh,
basically.
really?
Yeah,
I'm
so
really
that's
happy
a
to hear.
yeah,
Great.
as a marathon runner. But if I give you an introduction, I think we'll talk. Normally, we talk a lot about how we make things last here. We will get back to that in the live. But to give you an introduction, you are truly a creative guy, like a musician, an architect, running your own architecture studio, yoga, painting, marathon running. The list goes on. Like, how would you describe yourself?
Well, I like to think of myself as a being trying to reconnect with my inner child and with my passions, and the results is like comes out of connecting with those hobbies I enjoy, and I still like to enjoy. Sometimes as we grow, we think of, oh, I really love to use that thing as a kid or as a teenager, and I think we have to connect more with those gut feelings and those things that moved us and moved our soul. And that's how I got into painting again and into art. As a kid, I've always been really connected to music and architecture. Always I've really enjoyed like doing sketches and seeing spaces, and so I think it's like me reconnecting with my inner with my inner child.
It's playful then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that is more important to you than the other? Are you more a musician or artist, or than you are an architect, or does it depend
Um, I
on the day in the
think
week?
it's
Or?
I think it's the balance between them. Since a kid, I've been really connected to music, and I really enjoy the music. Perhaps in that sense, I've been connected more to music like for most of my life. Architecture, I started studying like a bit older, but I've always been really fond of space, and but I think none is more important than the other, and there's a huge relationship between them,
It's like
in the
great.
sense that, for example, I like on my music to like to have this importance of silence between the notes, and that when you get to listen to my songs, like your frequency elevates and like your pace lowers. And regarding architecture, it's the same exercise. I always like to remove elements to embrace like the emptiness of the space, and that relationship of emptiness in space and silence in music, it's really like correlated and really intentional with all, also with my paintings, with all that I'm creating, in order to like to, there's this quote that in silent, when we're in silence, we unite.
Mm.
So thinking of a more spiritual and meditative aspect, but this is like what I'm trying to achieve through all my disciplines and through all my hobbies. So it's a, none is more important than the other, because it's part of the same creative process.
But are you a structured guy? So you're like silence every day to just reconnect? Or I understand you're silent every now and then, but are you like
Yes, I
meditating?
really enjoy like silence. I do a lot of meditation on the mornings, on the nights, journaling. When I go running, I've been almost 10 years without like a running crew. And sometimes I run with my wife, but mostly I run by myself, and I'm like running in nature, and I stop to see the birds and the shadows and the lights and the sea. And it's a bit of reconnecting with like my higher self, I think.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, that's cool,
That's,
Chris. There's nothing silence not that much silence in my life, but I'm a hiker, and when I hike, it's silent,
mm.
and that's when I reconnect.
Exactly.
Uh,
Hiking and nature and silence, it's like, exactly.
And you have found that this your architect studio, GoCo. That's the name, right? What does
Yes.
GoCo stand for or mean?
Well, I started a firm with a business partner. I don't. I don't have that business partner anymore. But the idea of the name was to have like the Muji brand, which means nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like phonetically something. It has to do with our last names, but it doesn't mean anything. So I think it's an exercise of the antithesis of the normally architecture firms, which is like my last name brand and the architecture firm, and this is like more of an egoless, selfless name. So it doesn't like evoke exactly to I'm doing this. It's like the architecture is speaking by itself, but it doesn't have to be like directly branded to me.
It's quite spectacular buildings that you create or that you draw or whatever you say may come to life. That is one thing you mentioned on your website. I really urge the listeners or today to check in your GoCo site. But you talk about bringing spaces to life. Describe the GoCo journey, what you do?
Well, probably is that seeing the space as an element of transforming emotions on the user. So mostly that when you enter these spaces or buildings or interventions, you get to feel alive and to get something like in your memory.
Mm.
So it's like giving the space, like seeing the spaces as a living thing rather than as walls and ceiling and floor.
Yeah. And then you succeed, I would say, from what I've seen on your web.
Yeah, I think so. I believe, for example, on Chapel Studio, which is one of my latest projects, which blends music and architect. I've taken some musician friends over there, like to know the space, and a few of them have commented like, wow, this really inspires musicians to create music. Because normally music studios are really stuffed with visual elements, acoustic elements, and you feel like more overwhelmed instead of relaxed and on a higher frequency, which is the state you need to be in to create music. So it's an interesting approach, and I think regarding your question, yes, sometimes these spaces really like change the perception or the emotional states of a user when they visit.
Yeah. When you're kind of overwhelmed when you see a beautiful building, I love that feeling. When you get the goosebumps and it's like
exactly
stuck to your mind. Yeah, let's talk a bit about the running, because I ran 5 kilometers this weekend and it kind of kills me. So you go on for marathons. That must be, like you said, a part of being silent, just getting into a flow. And you've done 20
Yes, I finished my 20th marathon this Boston on April, a month ago.
Yeah.
And the journey hasn't been like I wanted to do 20 marathons, but like I ran my first marathon in 2007 with my wife, and I really enjoyed, and we really enjoyed like the process and the feeling. And after crossing the finishing line, was like, which one will we do again? and then like every year we've been traveling. It's the first time on this 20th marathon I repeat a course, because like the world is so large and there's so many beautiful cities and cultures, and so like rather than having a goal of doing X number of marathons, is like getting to know different cities on a different perspective, because as an architect, when you're running a marathon, you're like doing this pedestrian view on a car designed route. So you get to see the buildings on a different scale and on a different perspective. And as an architect, it's a really interesting process to see. And also like to get to know the different cultures, the food, the museums. So I've never repeated until this marathon like the same city again.
Yeah. So Boston, this was the second time.
Yes, exactly.
You should have come to Stockholm
You have to
instead.
come to Stockholm.
Yes, I'd love to. I've been to Stockholm, but I haven't run the marathon, which I've heard it's a bit tricky because it has a lot of
Yeah.
uphills and downhills. That's what I've heard from some friends that run the marathon. But I mean, Stockholm is an amazing city, and I'm really eager to run that marathon.
Yeah. And the first time when you got introduced to Pure Effect, I think that was from the Satisfy Running community, wasn't it? A brand.
Yes, I think I saw a story on of Bryce
Yeah.
like having this bottle of Pure
Yeah.
Effect, and I asked him like, "What's this?" Because he's always like really curious, and he gets really always cool stuff, and so that's he mentioned a bit about it, and then I wrote to you like if you had shippings to Mexico, and that's how our journey began.
Yeah, but that's right. Yeah, I think the question was on his FAQ, like how do you wash your clothes or how do you make them? Because they're kind of special shorts and they have really cool running clothes. And how do you make them last? And he said, I just spray them with Pure Effect, at least to extend time between washes.
Yes, before that, I used to wash them like regularly, but after knowing the Pure Effect, like I normally do like 1 week with the same t-shirt and the shirt, like 3 runs or 4 runs, and I spread them. It's amazing how all the other disappears, and it's a nice way of taking care of your clothes and also like taking care of the planet as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you very much
Yeah,
for that.
super great feedback. But then I don't know, how long have you followed the Satisfy Running crew?
I probably since they started. I
Yeah.
think I got my first shorts on 2015 or 2016.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It was
And I
about
still
that.
have them, and I still use them.
Yeah, and can you say something about that brand? Because I think they're pretty cool community or culture. It's kind of a punk. It's really a culture. It's like skateboarders, but for runners. Like it's
Yeah,
a cult.
exactly. I think it's a really cool brand because they've created a culture around seeing a different way of running between skateboarding and also between like rock
Yeah,
or
rock,
metal.
more than
Like I've heard Bryce was talking about the t-shirt process with this moth Ethan. Like the t-shirts are with these tiny holes
yeah.
so you can breathe, and I think they've changed. They reintroduced like the concert after concert t-shirt,
Yeah.
like you could use that for running, and that's a really cool thing to do. And they're always like um, figuring out or testing like the NFTs, or let's see how it is to run in cotton, because normally
Yeah.
cotton wouldn't be considered like a fresh fabric to run with.
Yeah.
And it works. Like all the things they do, they really work, and they do really interesting collaborations, and they've created like really interesting culture around it. I mean, I've gotten messages from random guys like, "Hey, could you sell me that T-shirt because like a Satisfied T-shirt because it was sold out and I haven't found it anywhere else?" And I was like, "No, that's mine, and that's the one I use for running like my marathons."
It's like
But I mean
vintage
the
for run.
exercise exactly, and the exercise is really interesting when you see like these fans like looking for the gear randomly around to get this feeling of belonging.
Yeah.
So I think, and they are also really into like taking care of the planet and sustainable fashion. So I really, it's my favorite sports brand.
Yeah. It's a tribe.
It's a
I think
tribe.
they're like, yeah,
Exactly.
you're part of the tribe.
Now I just want to set up so that you can come to Stockholm and run the marathon. We will visit some nice restaurants, and we can probably arrange a gig as well if you want us to.
That would be great.
But do you play by yourself, or do you need a band or more people?
like before the pandemic, I used to have a band. Like it's my project, like music, my music project. But I invited like a drummer and another guitar player, a cello, some percussions. But since the pandemic, I figured out the way to like to perform my music by myself. So I have like these synthesizer, loopers, pedal guitars, drums. So last year I played in Los Angeles and New York by myself, and I was like, I was asking like this sound engineering for 7 or 8 channels, and he was like, "What? You're one guy. Would you need 7 channels?" And I was having these drum machines and keyboards and guitar.
Yeah.
So yes, I can play by myself, and I on playing on like foreign places outside of Mexico. I really enjoy like playing by myself because I can take care, like all my gear and travel anywhere to play.
You travel a lot. It looks like when I look at your Instagram. And you also snowboarder.
Yes, I think snowboarding is my favorite sport, even more than running. The feeling of connecting with the mountain is really special for me. And also there's this silence, huge silence on the mountains, like you're feeling this, which is really relaxing. And also I think it's a sport where you get to be a child again, and you have the adrenaline of falling and getting up, and it's really fun. So it's like growing young when you go to snowboard.
But where do you go? You don't have any snow in Mexico, right?
No,
Or you have
no,
Big mountains.
no. In Mexico, we don't have any. As marathons, I always like to go and meet new places. So I've gone to some places in Canada, in the US. This year and last year, we went to Italy, and it was really nice, to the Dolomites. And last year we went to the Patagonia to run the Patagonia Marathon in the Deep South. And afterwards we went to snowboarding to the, it's called I forgot the name, but it's really south in Argentina.
Wow.
Yeah.
So no snow anywhere in Mexico.
No. Well, there are some mountains with snow but there's like really steep mountains, and it's more they use them like for climbing, snow climbing, and they don't have like routes or specific trails to go on to for skiing.
Just back to the music. I was kind of starstruck when you saw you had all these songs. You say songs, yeah, on Spotify. It's huge. So where did that journey begin? Except from, as you say, playful. But when did you're professional, really?
I think it started when my brother passed away. 21 years ago, he passed away, and I back then I wrote a song for him, probably as a healing process for myself, and today I see his death as his gift to me, like to help connect like the healing process of myself, but also like to help others heal too, because death is something like we're all afraid of, but it's like the only thing we have for sure in life, and we're always like avoiding it. And I think, and all my music is always around spreading this consciousness, this awareness of honoring death, embracing death as to live free from fear, like to live fully every moment, to enjoy every moment. And most of the lyrics on my songs are like awareness messages around that vibe. So that's how my like the music journey began, and since then I've been releasing different musics, and songs and EPs and collaborations, and so it's been a like a side project of my architecture, because I live out of my design projects, but like the music has been growing every year, and I'm also really open to see where it takes me.
And then the music is a gift from you to everyone else as well, as yeah, and also
Yeah,
for
exactly.
yeah, as generous. We got here. Thanks for sharing the story too.
Thank you.
Music is powerful. I really find it a way of amplifying feelings, or getting rid of feelings, or giving birth to. You know me in the car sometimes. It's loud. You can hear if I'm happy or angry, I guess, when I park outside the office. Probably. So I had this question. I was thinking, we always talk about, or you might not know because we do these lives normally in Swedish, but we talk a lot about life hacks, like things that, even though you're a guy that goes deep, you might have some cutting the corners, like things in your life that helps you around the your work or the running. Yeah, life hacks.
Discipline probably would be one. We have sometimes the misconception of discipline as like setting rules, like to have this structure, an inner structure. But I think discipline, like if you follow it like from your heart, it can like free yourself to do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
And I think also a life hack would be believing in yourself. Like if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. And sometimes it's difficult. Like you have that inner voice inside you that's telling you to go somewhere, and you start like to question yourself, to doubt yourself, and maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe whatever like the mind plays. But listening to that gut feeling, I think it's like a really important hack to go out there and just spread and share your ideas to the world, no matter what other think of you. You just have to believe in yourself and be yourself.
Not always that easy, but you say you just go down to the gut feeling and drive from there.
Exactly.
So any thoughts, or I just continue?
Many thoughts.
Oh, yes. You
But
took the silence as a...
No, but it is true. It's discipline for me too, as well.
Yeah, just keep showing up.
No, but you do what you want to do, but you need to do it. You can just do it.
Exactly. Show up.
Structure is not that fun, not that good.
Is that your way of getting in shape for marathons, or making a record, or it's discipline that's the key for you?
Yes, probably. Yes, probably discipline is like on many things. In case of marathons, it's like the discipline of getting up, showing up every day, doing the strength workout, the saying no to events, like social events at night because you have to run early in the morning, saying no to sugar and to like junk food when you want to do some on the weekend. I think yeah, the more you there's this kind of paradox, because you have to be very disciplined during the training, but also like race day, you have to be like very relaxed and open, and you've done like all your training journey, and now on the race day you have to like surrender and let go, and whatever comes, because it will come, the pain, the aching, the whatever, you have to like free yourself from that, and like trust the process, and don't be like so hard on yourself, because you've already done the work.
You could really be a marathon coach. Maybe you could.
Yeah, probably. That would be interesting. another hobby.
No, but also talking about life hacks or connecting to, no, that's not really a life hack question, but I was thinking of, since you have this, as I perceive you, this very warm and deep feeling for other people and for the planet and so on. What do you say about the state of humanity these days? Do you see any, not life, but things we can do to nudge environmental friendly behaviors or like push things in the right direction?
Yes, I think like the most important thing would be like to feel the responsibility on each one of us, like we can do a change. Because what I feel mostly is like everybody's like, yeah, you have to do that or you have to do this, but no one's like trying to get into that uncomfortable zone of changing habits, like stop eating meat because the meat industry is the most destroying the planet and all the forests, and or everybody's like very comfortable traveling with their plastic bottle instead of grabbing their own mail bottle and bringing it and carrying it. It's like a bit harder to work on, but once you do it and you know that you're changing and helping creating a better world, it becomes easier because it's like you're doing the right thing.
And spraying your shorts, that's an easy way of doing things.
Yeah,
than what
exactly. And like take using less clothes, you don't have to buy so much clothes, and when traveling you don't have to use such a larger bag because you have the spray and you can like travel lightly, which it repercutes on having less CO emissions because of the weight. It's like all correlated, but you can help through different tiny details and tiny aspects that change your life.
Yeah, we really have these bad habits and good habits, but with some structure and discipline, we might just switch track and do some things a little bit better.
Exactly.
How many?
Yeah. Small conscious decisions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How many weeks do you think it takes to change your behavior? Like if you want to start working out or just go plant food or?
I've heard it has to have like at least 21 days.
Yeah.
Like doing these constantly daily routines, so it becomes like part of you or an innate part of you, so you don't have to think about it like, oh, I have to do this again, and you just it becomes like yourself.
Yeah. Then it's integrated.
Exactly.
Like a challenge to change your behavior. So we are kind of running out of time. I feel I could go on forever, Chris, but
it was great to meet you.
Yeah, really fun talking to you.
Here.
Yeah.
Yes, I will take your word and let's make that marathon and that a gig in Stockholm. I really love it.
Live is good, but live is even better.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I just ask you one final question? If you know, if you spell out your dreams, they tend to come true easier. Do you have any life goals or dreams right now?
Probably to create awareness through my music, architecture, and painting.
Yeah.
And whatever comes out of it on the different disciplines.
That's good. Great final words.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Chris.
Our pleasure. You just have a good day then.
You too.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.